The Impossible Truths of Love by Hannah Beckerman. Performed by Kristen Atherton. Nell has just got into her car with a boot full of her parents' possessions ready for the dump, the adoption leaflet tucked safely in her handbag, when her phone rings. She picks it up from where it is lying, face down on the passenger seat, sees Josh's name flash up on the screen. For a few seconds she hesitates, though she is not sure why, staring at the screen as though the two of them might be able to communicate silently without the need for her to answer. Eventually she swipes a finger across the screen, presses the cool glass to her cheek. "Hey, how are you?"
"Much better for a decent night's sleep. How are things there?"
Nell pauses, finds herself oscillating between one version of the truth and another, unsure where on the spectrum honesty might sit. "Fine. Lots to do, but we're getting there." It is an empty platitude, but she does not know what else to say without veering into territory she has no desire to enter. There is a pause on the other end of the line, and Nell imagines Josh sitting in the battered leather armchair by the first-floor window of his flat, overlooking London fields, a cup of strong black coffee resting on the arm, rubbing his eyes with the heel of his palm. A tic she imagines to be a hangover from childhood, a glimpse of the boy he used to be.
"Are you sure you're okay? You sound, I don't know, pretty beleaguered."
Nell hesitates, thinks about all that has happened since she arrived at her mum's the previous evening. The tension with Claire, her mum's confusion, the newspaper cuttings, the photograph albums, the revelation about Danny, and now the adoption leaflet. She does not know how she would compile all those incidents into a comprehensible narrative, is not sure whether they hang together as the beginnings of a story or whether they are nothing more than random anomalies. Something shifts in her head, like a cog unilaterally fitting into one spur rather than another, and she is answering before she has had time to decide precisely what it is she wants to say. "I'm fine. Just woke up early and now have about 100 trips to the dump to do." She has tried to inject some levity into her voice, but it is still there, at the edges. A strain, like a too tight item of clothing stretched at the seams.
"Why don't I come down and give you a hand? I've got the whole weekend off. If I jump in the shower now, I could be there in 90 minutes, 2 hours tops."
Something inside Nell balks, and she does not know whether it is the prospect of her worlds colliding, or whether there is something else. Something she cannot identify. She only knows that her head is crammed with things she does not understand, is unsure whether there is anything even in need of understanding, or whether her grief and imagination are conspiring to cause a perfect storm of anxiety and confusion. "Honestly, there's no need. I'm whinging about nothing, really. We'll get it all done." The phone line goes quiet, and Nell imagines Josh running his fingers along the dark stubble lining his jaw.
"Look, I know I haven't met your family yet, and the timing's a bit weird, but I really would like to come and help."
Nell catches sight of herself in the rear-view mirror, sees the lines furrowing along her forehead. "It's not that. There's just no need. We've got it all in hand." Her voice is more brusque than she had intended, and she winces at the sound of it. Wishes Josh could see her expression so he would know she would swallow the words back down if she could. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it to come out like that. It's just..." She falters, wondering where the root of her ambivalence really lies. What, in truth, is it really about?